What up YouTube, Balboa here with a brand new episode of What I Bought. And this one is all about comics. So yay. Now, some of these comics are a little old. I've been trying to get my hands on them. I finally was able to. So yeah, some of them are a little old and not in the news now. But I got them and I'm happy. So, just want to point that out really quick. And I also got these comics from Heroes Haven. Heroes Haven is my favorite comic shop. I go there whenever I can, and I always get my comics there. And I highly recommend getting your comics from them. They have great prices, great customer service, and they do good shipping. So I highly recommend them. And, guess what? They're in the description of this video. Just like their Facebook page. So definitely check them out if you want some comics. Now, let's get started. When I reviewed the new Justice League 52 Justice League series, I showed off issue 1. Well, I finally got issue 2. That looks epic. I love this new comic line, and the new story arc really good. There's one thing I don't like. One thing. And that's the fact that everyone has an attitude. It's stupid. Just give the attitude to Batman. That's one of the very few characters that can get away with it, because when you get in there, you're like, oh, who's the good guy, who's the bad guy kind of arcs, and those are always bad. Some of them are good, some are bad. Just stick to Batman, Wolverine, of course, and maybe Deadpool. I mean, Daredevil. So stick to those guys with the attitude thing. Just don't give it to characters like Superman. I mean, he's like a Boy Scout in the group. Quote from Justice League. But yeah, so got issue 2. I've read it. I love it. Just don't like how everyone has an attitude. Issue 3, exact same thing. This one has Wonder Woman in it, and the storyline's getting better with the introduction of more heroes. So I'm really glad how that one's coming out. And Aquaman's in issue 4, obviously. And I really like how they're portraying him, but I still don't like the attitude thing. But I really like his redesign. It looks really cool. But yeah. Love this comic. Except for the attitude problem, that's it. Now, we all remember my review of Batman and Robin. Well, finally got my hands on issue 2. I kind of like the look of the Batmobile. It looks cool. I kind of wish it was a little different, but it actually is a pretty good Batmobile. Now, same problems as I had with the first issue. I don't like Damian Wayne. I'm used to the Batman Beyond story arc, and that's my favorite story arc for Batman in his later years. I don't know why, I just do. So, if you're a fan of Damian Wayne, I apologize. I just wish they used a different Robin. But I got issue 2, which I have not read. Issue 3, which I have not read. And issue 4, which I have not read. But I kind of like how they're doing the artwork, so I'm pretty sure they're pretty good. I saw how the issue 1 went, and the story arc's going. Hopefully it still continues a little bit with the Batman and Robin. So that's really it. I think it will be good. Hopefully. It looks like good. I mentioned how I wanted to get Batman's The Dark Knight. Well, I signed up for it, but I don't have issue 3, 2, or 1 yet, because I signed up a little too late. I'm still trying to track those down. But I got The Dark Knight issue 4 of the new 52. And this one looks like it has Poison Ivy in it. I have not read this one, but I am looking forward to it. So that's good. Now this is a comic I highly recommend to anyone who is a fan of the Phantom. This is the last Phantom. Dynamite Comics. I have issue 9 and issue 10. The Phantom is just one of my favorite heroes. He is epic. He is cool. He is stoked in tradition and honor. And he's just one of my favorite heroes. He's definitely in my top 5. And he actually is the first ever superhero to wear a mask, because he came around before Batman and Superman. But yeah. Anyone who's a fan of the Phantom, gotta get this comic line. It's really good. Story arc is perfect. Now this is a comic that's been out for a while. A lot of people have it. I haven't read it yet, and I'm really looking forward to actually reading it, but it's Ultimate Spider-Man, All New Spider-Man issue 01. Man, there's a lot of things I have to say, like, one, why would you kill off Peter Parker? I'm dead serious. Why? It's so stupid. I mean, Spider-Man is your #1 selling comic. He's your #1 character. He is Spider-Man. How can you kill him off and then replace him with the new Spider-Man? It makes no sense. But I will admit one thing. I kind of like the design of his costume. It looks really cool. I don't know much about the character. I don't know much about the story arc. But, hey, I'm going to give it a try. Hopefully it's good. I don't know. I have low hopes for this. Anyway, the rest of the stuff is no longer comics. They are actually the big hardcover books. This is Flash Gordon comic book. Let's see. Archives. I think that's Archie Comics, Volume 5. I think I read that word wrong. Forgive my reading skills. You can probably, like, pause the video and see it or something. But, yeah. So, this is Volume 5 of Flash Gordon. Now, I am a fan of Flash Gordon. I think he's a really cool character, but my dad is a big fan. So he picked this up for himself. And I've read a couple of these comics. They're actually really good. And if you're a fan of Flash Gordon, I recommend this because it's really cool. It's even got some stuff from the movie, which is really cool. Now, what I love about these big books is that you could spend like $50 on one of these. Or you could spend $1,000 on the original reprint. I mean, really, it's not really an option. I mean, I can understand if you want, like, oh, the original one because it's worth money, or, you know, you have your reasons. I just recommend the $50 books because you get, like, 20, 15, 20, 10 story arcs of the original ones for a really low price compared to what you would pay for the actual original comics. So I get a ton of stories of Flash Gordon without having to pay a lot of money for just one of the original issues. And that's why I really like these hardcover books. Plus, they're really nice. I mean, they capture the original artwork perfectly. I mean, let me find a good page. Look at that. They capture the artwork perfectly, so I highly recommend that to Flash Gordon fans. And I highly recommend to Atom fans, Atom. And this is volume, let's see, volume 1. It has, I believe, it has a lot, actually. Now, I believe it has 15 different storylines of the original Atom from the original comic lines, including his first appearance, which is really cool to see. Issue 1 to 5 and 34 to 36. So yeah, and it's got a couple more. I just didn't want to read them all. But, very nice. Highly recommend this to fans of the Atom. My dad is a fan of the Atom, so he picked that one up. No brainer. This is one of my favorites ones that he picked up. This is Marvel's first, the 1960s. So you got all the first issues from the 1960s. You got the first ever Spider-Man, the first ever Thor. You got the first ever Iron Man. Which, why is he in his second suit? That makes no sense. You have the first ever Human Torch and the first Fantastic Four. And you have the first Ant-Man, which is awesome because I love Ant-Man. He's an awesome superhero, in my opinion. And I just don't understand why he's not in the Avengers. You also got the first Avengers and a couple more. Like, you got the first Iron Man, you got the first Hulk. You got a lot of the first, and definitely highly recommend this to fans of these guys. I mean, again, $50 for reprints of pretty much all of your favorite Marvel characters. For $50, you get the first ever comics, and you actually get the second one of a couple in here, I think. Or you could spend a ton of money on the original comic, and you just have the one story. And they capture the artwork pretty well. I mean, there. I think that's Nick Fury. I could be wrong. There. Look. I have the reprint of this comic. I don't know where it is. I misplaced it. But it is perfect. Exactly like it was with my reprint. And I wish I actually had the original because that would be cool. But yeah. Highly recommend this. And my last item is the Phantom. This is the complete series, the Golden Keith Years, Volume 1. I believe they're going to do more volumes. I think they're going up to Volume 3. I could be wrong. But this is just a great comic. Same thing. I get like 20 stories for less than the price of just one of the original comics. And it's just very nice. It is a hardcover. This one was not a hardcover. That's really the only one out of my big books that wasn't a hardcover. The rest were. But this is just a very nice comic. It captures the original artwork perfectly. It just looks very nice. And the Phantom's just a great superhero. So I picked this one up. Really like the Phantom. So I had to pick this up when it came out. And me and my dad, I've been reading the stories. My dad has been reading the stories. They're really nice. The Phantom is just a timeless superhero. Literally timeless. Because of his story arc of father to son, he is timeless, which I love. I love when you do a superhero that kind of is timeless, where he can happen in any time period. I like when they do that. But, yeah, that's pretty much it. Now, I did pick up another item. It is a DVD that I loaned to a friend of mine. Probably should have made the video before I loaned it. But it is the History Channel documentary of the Phantom. It does talk about his creator, and it also talks about the Phantom. Now, what's interesting is that this came out when the Phantom movie was being made. Not the one that was seen on Sci-Fi, but the original one that came out, I believe, in 1997. I know it came out in the 1990s. I just don't remember the exact date. Let me know in the comment section down below. But it was made around that time, and if you are a Phantom fan, I highly recommend picking them up. You get a lot of good facts, and you learn a lot of cool stuff about the Phantom. And stuff even I didn't know. Like, did you know he had the Sword of Excalibur? I bet you guys didn't know that. So yeah, I just recommend picking that up. It's really cool and a great documentary. It's really good if you want to see a documentary about superheroes. So I highly recommend that. And that's it for this episode of what I bought. Hope you guys liked what I picked up. I guess that's it. Now, if you do want some of these comics, go to Heroes Haven. Link in the description. Great service, and I highly recommend them. Till then, I'll see you guys later, and adios.